Hello and welcome to the Open Invite, the most over-enthusiastic intro to a Christian podcast since the Vietnam War.
Wow. That was a lot of energy.
That was a lot,
Especially
wasn't
as it's not like we've just arrived. We've just been talking for quite some time.
I know.
That energy just came out of nowhere. I liked it.
It's because it's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
I know. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah. I sent you that GIF today on the text of the old guy kind of from a distance going, yeah, and then you get closer, he stops saying yeah, and he looks really upset.
It starts crying.
And it's really sad. and I stopped looking at it because I was like, gosh, yeah. Because all I did is in the GIFs, I just put in old. That was my search, and that one came up. And I was like, God, it's quite actually. It's the more I watch it, the less funny it is, and the more
Sinister,
more poignant, and
mate.
like, because it looks legit, like he's proper broken, like he's pretending to be all happy from a distance, but up close, he's like proper broken.
He is.
For a stock GIF, he plays it well, and
I was like, you blooming fun sponge. Al does this to me. So a mate of ours has got a garage, and Al was working in the garage. And I came to help out because I'm a mechanic by trade for a day. And I'm there contemplating my life choices, trying to make the best of it. And Al goes, it's mad to think, like, a few years ago, we were just up at your brewery and we were having beers and we were working together there. And now it's all gone.
that wasn't quite what I said.
It was very close.
I said, who would have thought a few years ago when I was running my theatre company and you were running your brewery, that in a few short years, we both have nothing and be working for our mate in his garage.
Talk about put me in a bad mood for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, cheers, mate. Cheers for that.
Yeah. Good times. Good times.
Nothing like a reality check at what was it, 10 o'clock in the morning.
Flipping cough back again.
It's a shed. You're allergic to the shed.
So sorry, everyone. Yeah, but it's like also, you're a qualified mechanic, and I'm not. And I spent 10 months working for our mate, just servicing cars and learning how to do the brakes and suspension and stuff. But I also like to remind you when you came in to help that I was an employed permanent member of staff, so therefore I was technically your boss.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and you didn't like that either.
No, I didn't like that. I'm not very good at people being in charge of me.
I mean, I know you're a qualified.
Well, I can do it.
No, you're a qualified mechanic, but there was those moments where I had to look over his shoulder and just check you were changing that oil filter correctly.
What are you on about? What are you on about?
What are you on about? It's diabolical.
Honestly, yeah. Don't get me started.
But now look, it's all changed again.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
Now running your own business consultancy, and I'm back teaching acting.
Yeah,
like
I might even get in a truck in the next few weeks.
Really? Why?
Well, it's a little bit quiet. Although things are gradually growing. It's obviously, it was a whirlwind how it all started. But because of Lid's dad getting unwell, I kind of took my eye off the ball and didn't really do as much sort of chasing new customers. So I've got a bit of a gap. So we're going on holiday in July.
Nice. Where you going?
Tenerife.
Tenerife, eh?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, proper package chintzy holiday.
Yeah, man. I've been to Tenerife once. The Black Sands of Tenerife.
Yeah, I can't wait.
It's meant to be really good for asthma.
Yeah, I heard that.
I heard that, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going there. So we need some extra money. So I was looking, this time of year is always bonkers in haulage. And they're desperate for drivers and all that kind of stuff.
And all that jazz.
Yeah, so I had a sort of phone interview yesterday.
Oh, okay, this is legit then. Not just an idea.
No. Because all I want to do is the bare minimum, right?
Sounds good.
I am that employee.
Yeah.
Because
you don't want to load, you don't want to strap down, you want to reverse into a space, and then somebody bangs on the truck and says, right, you ready?
Yeah.
And then you drive off to somewhere else and you reverse into space, and they go, right, you're empty.
That's it.
Yeah.
Literally, I don't want to do the double deckers and the strapping down and the faffing around at pallet hubs and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, they interviewed me on the phone, and she said, "Well, and this is the problem with the trade. This is what gets me down with trucking, is the lying." So it said trunking from depot to depot, right? And I'm like, I love trunking, especially like FedEx. I mean, FedEx, some of the management sucks, but the trucks are terrible. All the trucks are worn out. But
I don't know if we should be mentioning company names.
I don't care. But the actual driving of the job is actually it's really good, and it's really well run. So, and they have things like cafeterias where you can actually get a decent meal. So it's good from that point of view. But and then DX is another one. I love DX. Not as well paid as FedEx, but trucks are really good, and it's got like a bit of like the carnage. They have these massive warehouses with bays down both sides, and everybody backs their trailers on. Then you unhitch, and then you just disappear and go and sleep for an hour or two. And in the middle is just they unload all the trucks at the same time, and they're all putting them in new zones and loading up stuff from other areas to go back up, and it's amazing
like
to
an
watch.
ant's nest.
It is. It's incredible how they do it, and it's all hand done. It's genuinely amazing. And then you back up onto the trailer that you've been told to take, and then you take it back. That's it. And you don't do. It's not a lot of hours, and it's really like easy work, I would say.
Yeah, it sounds nice, but you got nice podcasts, good music to listen to. Like you say,
superb.
You're made to rest.
Yeah, you get 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not many jobs where you can just get in the bed and just I just get in a sleeping bag and go to sleep.
So is that what you've applied for then?
No. So this
okay.
job said trunking, and then she said, "Oh yeah, it's going from Normington. You're going to be doing this trunking from like Avonmouth and somewhere else and somewhere else. So you're picking up stuff from Ireland, and you're picking stuff up from the other side, up Liverpool way somewhere. And then she said, and then you be restocking stores." And I was like, I'll stop you there. I said, nowhere in the advert did it say multi-drop. Oh, well, it's not really multi-drop because there's only 2 to 3 drops, but you basically go into store to store to store. I said, I'm not doing that. I'm not interested. Oh, right. Well, what do you want to do? I said, I said, in your advert right here, it says box work, trunking. That's what I want to do. I want to do what you advertised.
Oh, well, I think that's a bit out of order. How dare you want to do the job
that is advertised. So she said, "Oh well, we wouldn't. If you're not willing to do the other stuff, it's probably not something we can do." And then in the background, a lady went, "No, no, 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 no."
That's really no.
Oh yeah. Hang on a minute. Oh, actually, yes, we would if you're just willing to do that trunking. Yeah, we'll do it. And I said, "Oh, right, okay." I said, "Look, I'll be honest with you. I have my other business. This is just extra money for going on holiday." I said, I'm just making you aware that I'm not the guy that says, yeah, I'll do that, or I don't mind that, and then I'll just go along with it." I said, if I get there and they say, "Hey, we want you to go and drop to these stores," I'll just give them the keys back, get in the car, and go home. And I said, "You'll still have to pay me anyway, because that's what you advertised."
All right, nice. Well, it's a fair point to be
to
be clear from the beginning.
Yeah. So then she said, "Well, I appreciate your honesty," and I said, "Well, look, I'm just telling you, I've had it with other companies where I've gone, and then the job's changed, and then they've added this on, and then can you shunt trailers for a night? Can you do? Actually, no, we want you to go and do a shift, and then when you get back, can you load trailers?" And then I said to her, and I realised me and one other guy were the only people loading trailers because everybody else said no. So I said, I'm just in that place. I know what trucking's like, and I know the expectation. It changes. I said, but I don't need this. It's just a extra thing. So if the way you work is to tell one thing and do another, then we'll just end up falling out.
Yeah, and what do they say?
Well, yeah, we've never had somebody so honest. And she said, well, we do need night trunkers. Nobody wants to do night trunking. So, we'll chat with their team tomorrow and we'll give you a ring in the afternoon.
Yeah, sweet.
So it's like, it's not, I mean, and that was the
It's
other thing I said, look, I said, I'll be honest with you. I said, it's terrible pay, really, for what we're asked to do. I said, you wouldn't do the job for what's paid. I said, honestly, you wouldn't. And she's like, no, I wouldn't do it.
but they must be getting they get a huge cut.
No, they don't. They
Do they
probably
not?
make about 3 or 4 quid an hour out of you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And this is not the best paid one I've been on, but it's not bad. It's about 19 quid an
No,
hour.
but it's nice, like you said, to go to something where you're being honest, you're being straight. You're just like, hey, this is it. You know what it is. There's peace in that, and like you say, it's extra. It's like it's not the same thing. It's not a job, but remember with our third child, like after having 2 previous, and they were horrible births. Like Georgina was like, no, look, I know what I want, and I know how I want it to work. And the last 2 births were so horrendous that I'm being really clear. This is what I want.
Yeah.
And because we're like that, the middle was like, yeah, all right,
Yeah.
sounds good. And then it was then the nicest birth of all 3 because, is that what I mean? So it's nice to be in that place, isn't it? Where you're like, hey, look,
Yeah.
this is what I want, and what I'm asking for isn't unacceptable.
No.
This is what I'm laying it all out there for you. I'm telling you the consequences if it doesn't happen. This is what I need. This is what I want. And then oftentimes, yeah, people appreciate it, don't they? Because then they know they can't. They know where they are with you.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is I said to this lady, I said, look, I said, you literally are doing the very thing that I don't like. And she said, what's that? And I said, it's the misleading people. Well, why are we misleading people? And I said, well, you're telling me that it's a multi-drop job and not night trunking. That was the night trunking was like 1 or 2 words in your spiel, and then it was stocking stores, which basically means it's cage work. So that means you probably have to manually load your trailer, but if you don't, you will definitely have to unload it with a tail lift yourself. Well, and then trying to back into stores with an Arctic can be challenging. And then it's in the night, and if people park and then, or the gate's shut, or somebody's left something, and then you can't get your stuff off, and it's been packed in order, so then you have to unload everything, and then take the 2 cages out, and then load everything back up, and then it's brutal, and it's not what you want to be doing at night. So, and I said, it's just, I said, as well as I do, that if you put multi-drop on there, you wouldn't get a single person. And I said, because there's Starbucks there's a company that supplies Starbucks locally. I don't actually know what their company is called, but they have a permanent advert for drivers. And the wage has gone up and up and up because they just can't get people to do the job.
Yeah, it's similar in. I've found. I don't want to be too negative about it in some ways, but it's similar with colleges. Whenever when they're looking for teaching staff, they'll always just call it a level 3 teaching post. But 9 times out of 10, when you get the job, they're like, yeah, so you'll be head of level 2, or you'll be doing level 1 and level 2, but you'll have a class a week that's level 3, and you're like, no. Your advert was for a level 3, and it is still technically a level 3 teacher because you're teaching in a level 3 college.
Yeah, once.
Well, like the over umbrella term is you are a level 3, but you're actually teaching level 1, level 2, or sometimes even lower. It's a similar thing, I think. I don't know if I think it's the same thing. Like, if we put level 1 teacher, nobody would apply for the job.
No, it's true. It's naughty, really. It's yeah, it's one of those things. I mean,
Yeah, but like you say, when you know what you want,
you,
and then I mean, it's different for us anyway, isn't it? Because often 9 times out of 10 we're going where God's leading us.
Yeah.
So then, like this, this job that I've just got, half my timetable's level 2, and I'm like, but then at the same time, I'm like, but this job's from God, and so I'll take what's off. I'm taking what's being given to me because that's a different thing. Like say you taking on a bit of extra work, you can be more like, no, I want this, and this because this is just extra. I don't need this. I'm doing it for a bit of extra pocket money.
Yeah. It's not a bad do. You know, a couple of £100 nearly a night.
It's a nice side hustle.
Yeah, you do it a couple
As
of
the
nights a week.
youths would say nowadays.
Yeah, side hustle, honestly.
Nice side hustle.
But
I don't know. I've often mused on what a side hustle I could have, and I don't really. I've had a few ideas, but I think they're a tricky old beast when you've got a young family and you're trying to work and you go to church and serve at church. It's a tricky thing to find that thing that you can invest some free time into, bring in extra cash.
yeah, a lot of people do stuff like get a van and do like shows and sell, I don't know, gin or something.
Yeah, people do
But
Etsy stuff, don't they?
yeah,
Or
but the reality to that is that is hard slog. Like I mean, you'll earn a big lump of cash, but by the time you've paid everybody else out, you've done a lot of work for not a lot of money.
yeah, because that's the thing is to keep a side hustle, because you hear all the wonderful stories of people who I started this as a side hustle and now I make £1 million a year and it's my sole job. But to achieve that, their side hustle dominated every bit of their spare time.
Yes, yeah, that's
And
it.
there's nothing wrong with that. But like when you're looking for something small on the side to bring in some extra cash, and you also, I would say 9 times out of 10, you want to enjoy it. You want it to be something that you find joy in. That's actually quite tough.
Yeah, and so YouTube was always my side hustle. Although I never really earned much money from it. I've got a problem with my AdSense at the moment. It seems to have been broken, and I'm meant to get a thing through the post, and twice it's not turned up. So I don't know what's going on, but I've got a whole whopping £60 waiting for me to go into my bank account. But I don't know why it's suddenly broken. It might be something to do with the nature of my
Tiny hands.
videos. No, not my tiny hands.
Right, okay.
My expose videos that I've done recently.
Well, you're going to be controversial.
Yeah, so I think my little I've got a little friend at YouTube that doesn't like me down in London that takes great interest in what my channel does.
Really? I'd have thought it was all algorithms now.
It is, but you do have certain channels are like you get shadow banned for stuff and
monitored.
Yeah, so I'll do like mad views on something, and then my next video will barely break 100. Well, I won't even. In fact, I did one a while back. It didn't get 100. So it's a very odd situation. Then on YouTube, there's another issue, which is a lot of channels that are around 100,000. If they're not making loads of money in advertising or in like super chats and stuff, YouTube has started to limit their reach. So what that means is they're not getting anywhere near the views that they used to, and the reason they're doing that is because of the amount of cost it is to hold the video in storage in these massive data centers. Yeah, it's insane.
Oh, so because they're not bringing enough into YouTube, and YouTube's having to effectively store their stuff for free.
Yeah,
they're like, well, I'm gonna penalize you.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, I mean, if you know that, then you can do things to make sure you don't get penalized, don't you? But I wonder how many people know that.
I don't know. They've not explicitly said it, but a lot of creators have like noticed huge problems with numbers, and certainly for me, I've noticed even with this project, it has been very slow going, and what we're doing isn't necessarily chasing the views. So we probably need to salt in some other content as well on top to help it on the YouTube platform.
I'm not bothered.
No, I know you're not
We're
bothered,
not
but I might do
we're,
something.
no. We're not doing it for views. We're doing it
Yeah, I
for
know.
other reasons.
Yeah, I know, but it'd be nice to just give it a bit more reach so it reaches more people because they bury it all the time.
No, let them bury it. God will sort it.
Well, yeah, yeah,
We do what we do,
yeah.
and then we leave the rest to him.
Well, okay, I'll go with that.
Yeah, because that can be an experiment, then, can't it?
Yeah, well,
And then,
yeah,
and then ultimately, if something comes of this, then it's also like a little testimony. Like, I didn't get involved. I didn't try and use the knowledge that I had to
yeah,
do it. We just left it,
yeah. True,
and
true.
look where it is now.
That is true. But
Oh.
yeah, so there's quite a bit going on in the creator world.
I always felt like your G-Shock watches was a nice side hustle / YouTube.
Yeah, but so the problem is there's a few people out there. It's the same thing where a couple of people ruin the whole scene. So there's one guy out there and he buys every retro Casio he can find and then just resells them at ludicrous amounts of money. And he does all these videos and you just can't buy the stock like you could before.
All right, so he's kind of trying. He's purposely trying to dominate it so that he's well, it's like a business. He's trying to dominate the market so that his channel can do what other channels can't because he owns everything.
And then, but it kind of ruins the scene as well. There's a lot of people that complain about him, but it's just like
because I felt like it's just like a nice thing to do. It's like a little hobby. You could do it in the evening. You don't need loads of stuff. You do it at your dining room table. It's easy to film, simple to film.
Yeah.
Kind of ticks those boxes for you, and then also for all of those many people nowadays that like ASMR style.
Yeah, so
videos, like it ticks that box, like that channel that I watch who he restores.
Oh yeah, I mean
old Rolexes and
that's mega.
Seamasters. And...
See, I've got the kit to do it. I've got there's a mount down there. I've got a 4K Sony ZV-1 that I could put literally here, looking down as I was doing it. I've got obviously nice microphones, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, like I say, it's a lot of work, and it's finding those watches from the get-go that are worth doing.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. You have to want to do it. That's the thing with a side hustle. You have to find joy in doing it, or I guess you have to have a bigger purpose in mind. So you're willing to do the grind.
See, I enjoy it because it's just something I like to do.
Have you considered?
I don't really want to make loads of money out of it.
No, but
sometimes I don't want to talk to somebody as I'm doing it because actually I just want to concentrate on what I'm doing.
No, yeah. Have you considered doing videos of you holding things that are kind of to most people normal size?
Shut up.
But they look.
So chat for this.
But they look massive in your hands.
Yeah.
Like that would be easy, like an OnlyFans kind of thing.
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, miniature hands. Do you know, literally, Kez, she sent me a picture of me holding a pint where Joel had shrunk my hand down with both. So there's this running joke that I have small hands, which I do have small hands, to be fair. I've got big feet, but small hands.
Like a hobbit.
Like a hobbit. I am like a hobbit.
And you're very furry.
And I'm furry, yeah. You could use me to pick up leaves in the garden. You just roll me around.
Roll you around. You're like a 5'10" hobbit.
Yeah. But yeah, it's funny because Kez, our friend, she's got massive hands and feet.
She's all hands and feet.
She's all
That's it, really.
Yeah. So
she's like one of them giant gladiator gloves.
Yeah.
With clown shoes on.
It's true. When she's doing worship at church, you can't see her holding the mic.
No, that's why she has to use like a Madonna mic now, doesn't she?
Because
she keeps breaking them.
Yeah, just squishes them.
Hands.
So yeah, and then your poor wife, I tease about having chubby fingers.
Yes.
Even the other day, because she's lost a lot of weight, I was like, "How is it you're so thin, but yet your fingers are still the same?" She was not impressed.
No.
And she once hurt herself with a lawnmower.
So she's missing toes.
Yeah. And I like to just occasionally wind her up about throwing gang signs with her feet.
Yeah.
So really,
Yeah.
it's a two-way thing.
It's a two-way
Yeah,
street.
yeah. So yeah. Oh dear. Yeah. Oh, talking of funny things at church,
Uh-huh.
I love this. This just made me so happy the other day. Just only in church. So there was some new people came,
Yes.
and the youth were taking the service.
All right. Yeah, this is a week or two ago, isn't it?
Yeah. And they were lovely people. To be fair, they were sound, but they're a bit, a bit rough around the edges in a nice way.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, in a nice way. And they were doing like a game on stage, and they just asked for volunteers, and this guy got up.
Yeah.
And it's not a Christian. He didn't know what's going on or anything like that. It was just, and he flipped the bird at everybody. And it just made me so happy.
The way he bowled up the stage had a very Conor McGregor-esque feel about it.
It did, yeah.
And he was wearing sunglasses.
Yeah.
And he gave off the impression of someone who was drunk, who had just kind of wandered in. I'm not saying he was, but that was the kind of impression he gave.
Yeah.
And then when he made a mistake, he stood there and stuck fingers up at the audience like, meh.
Yeah. He just made me laugh. The funniest bit was my boys after. They're like, Dad, did you see that guy? And they were proper laughing.
It's like genius for them. It's like, yes.
Yeah, I was like, they were like, that was awesome. And our pastor, I was talking to him on Sunday. And I said, oh, mate, that was so funny. He's like, it was, wasn't it? I was like, yeah, it's great. I was like, I love it. And he was like, yeah, me and Wendy thought it was the quality. Now, if you got up and done it, we'd have had to have a conversation. But these people aren't, they're not saved. They don't know any better. And it didn't hurt anybody. And it was really funny. And like, yeah, why? It's life, isn't it?
It is what it is, yeah.
And I said to him, it's really, as silly as it sounds, it was a refreshing moment. Because, and we had this conversation. I said to Johnny, I've had a real kind of, I don't know, I guess it's probably in the last year, a revelation about polished Christianity. And certain aspects of it I really hate, like properly hate. And this is not having a go at anybody. Before I say this,
so don't mention anybody.
No, I'm not gonna mention any names or anything like that. Joel. No, not really. Joel's the mate of us. There's people that really like to. How shall I put this? Be on stage. Whether it be musos or just, I don't know, whether they feel like they get their some sort of gratification about doing stuff up front or being seen.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Plenty of people that that's a driving part of their personality. Wanting significance, wanting to.
And that's fine. I like, yeah, good for you. I'm
intrigued where you're going with this.
Yeah,
we went with polished Christianity, which I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, and then
but now you're moving into people's motives.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, yeah, okay, a little. Well, I think there are motives involved in this as well. I think we'd be naive to say that there's not.
No, but I mean, I guess what are you trying to say? You're trying to say, yeah, I get what you mean about when it's polished, when it becomes professional.
Yes,
and it loses that sense of family. Because church is meant to be family. It's meant to be a collection of people who are family through Christ. But they're like ragtag. Like you're such a massive. You're so diverse.
Yeah.
And I know what you mean. Yeah, when it gets to the point where you grow because God's blessing you and the buildings get bigger and you're able to do
more stuff
and more good like professional stuff. Not good. Good's the wrong term. More professional looking stuff.
Yeah.
Then in that journey you can lose the family and the realness.
Yeah, and I think
because if you think back when we were smaller, there was just so many moments of just like hilariousness.
It was great.
People doing mad stuff, people making mistakes because you're just family. Like you say, when you get bigger, people who have the skills or want the skills, they can start to dominate the face of the church.
Yeah, and I think for me, like I went through a lot of self-loathing and stuff a while back. As you will understand this, because you know you're a big self-loather. But
It's a
no,
gift.
like I think
It's a gift.
I think as you get older, I think as men, it's something that you end up doing. You see the darker side of yourself, and you think, "Oh, I should have done this, and I could have done that, and I never did this," and you know, it's all lies of the enemy. But at the same time, I was like, God, I don't understand why you want me. I don't know why you care. You know, that was a big problem that I had, and He showed me that He doesn't want. He never picked the Pharisees or the Sadducees.
No.
And then I watched a video, and it was a guy who's a Jewish Christian, and he went down to Galilee. And because one of the big arguments is, how could you have had such a big storm in Galilee? And he showed some of the footage of the storm in Galilee that they had recently. And the way that the valleys move down to the water, they have a Venturi effect, which is something that you use in carburetors.
Oh,
Basically,
okay, right.
it creates a pressure difference from one side to the other, and it accelerates the air through. And basically, they have these massive winds that like cause huge waves. I mean, you wouldn't want to be on a boat, like just from what he was showing. And then he said to his guide, he was like, "Oh, I want to meet the fishermen from Galilee." And the guide was completely stumped. He said, "Why do you want to meet them?" He's like, "I just want to go and meet them." He said, "They're crazy." He's like, "That's okay. I want to go and meet him." And he went down, and they literally took the mick out of him from the minute that he arrived. They were a proper ragtag bunch. They were all laughing. They all had, like calloused hands, and they were all tough, but they were happy, and they were ruthless, taking the mick out of him,
Yeah.
and just being silly. And I just thought, oh, like they would have been the same then.
Yeah.
They were a
But this
ragtag bunch.
is the thing. It's easy to jump over it, isn't it? But it says in the Bible, God looks at the heart, not at the outward
Yeah.
appearance. And many people have a very polished outward appearance,
Mm.
and maybe aren't so polished
On the inside.
on the inside.
Yeah.
But thankfully, that's the joy of that.
Do you know how you can spot them, Al?
What?
Car park.
Yep. Yeah. If they can't be guided in car park by a steward, it's telling.
It is very telling.
But no, it is. But that is the wonderful thing about God, is that He is all knowing and all powerful, and people, and He knows our hearts, doesn't He?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And that's difficult. That's a difficult lesson to go through. Learning to surrender.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
learning that God's got this, and you don't need to do any of it.
Mm.
Do what He asks you to do. But that's a big one for me. I would suggest probably even bigger for you, because we're both kind of control freaks, but you're certainly maybe further up the scale than I am.
What are you on about? Satan, get behind me.
But it's a tough one learning to surrender. It's a tough one learning to just
I am
actually,
a terrible control freak.
yeah, actually just trust.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm here right now, and I can fix the problem. Yeah, well, God, is God not sovereign? Is God not in charge of everything? Well, yeah, He is, but I can just do this click, 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 and I fix the problem myself, and it's even easier in our world. It's why when we meet people from like Africa or other places that are like third world, their faith is so much stronger because they can't fix
anything. Yeah.
things with a click, click, click. They have to trust God,
Yeah.
and because of that, they're closer to Him. They've seen His power at work.
Yeah.
Whereas in the West, it's like, well, like I've got my chest X-ray this week. I don't need to pray about it. I can go to the doctors and they can fix it. But somebody from a slum somewhere,
Yeah, hang on, no chance.
they've got to pray about it. So it's easier to be a control freak in the
Western
first world, in the
yeah.
Western world, than it arguably could be somewhere else. But then that's one of the things that God has to do with us, in us, isn't it? Because he can't use us if we're control freaks. He can't use us if we're doing things for the wrong motives. He can't use us if our hearts aren't right.
The funny bit is, I am completely at the mercy of God at this point. I just cannot be. I've lost all that fight to try and fix things in my own strength. Where I used to be able to just, you bring a war and I will join that war. And I mean, I did it recently. I had to push with the school.
Yeah, but there's a difference in there to the kicking off or prayerfully.
Yeah, I was careful about it.
Prayerfully doing something.
Although, in other news, one of the boys got suspended last week.
It's good.
Flipping it, man.
But did they do the return to school? Is everything good? He's back.
Yeah, it was all fine. I mean, there was no. I think it was just naughty kids together, and they all just got a bit carried away. And it, it's just one of them things. It's just, boy, nobody got hurt. There was no like punches or anything like that. But
no, it's just the kind of the context of it, isn't it? That made it more difficult.
Just boys, man.
It's tough, isn't it? Because I look at my littlest one, and he's a thug, and he's become a bit more of a thug of late. And he's 4, right? He starts school in September, and he still will not say please and thank you unless we make him. Right? Whereas the other two,
is that to you though, or is that to other people? Because he always says please and thank you.
Yeah, I don't mean it as I'm not having a go at him. I'm just like saying that personality. He's a personality in him that's like he's stubborn. He's like our little bulldog.
Yeah.
But now I'm nervous about him. I'm nervous about going to school. But I was nervous when my middle boy went to school because I was just worried about him.
Yeah.
And I just because he didn't speak till late and all things. But he went to school and like a light bulb switched on and he had no problems. And now like you say, we're just saying about surrendering to God, and I'm worrying. We shouldn't worry because God's got it. We should just give it to Him. But I'm like, have I given birth to a mini version of my brother? And I'm thinking about you're talking about getting suspended this week. I think the amount of times my parents had to go to school because of for my brother, for meetings about my brother, and I'm like, well, Lord, I'll do whatever it's do. I love him, and just because that might make high school a bit tough doesn't mean it's not personality traits that are of worth and help me to guide him and get and use and do him well. But there's that little sinking feeling of, is he going to start school and we're going to have, he hit someone today, or he refused to tell the teacher thank you or please, or like, so either way, we've not had anything like that with the other two. We've not had to go in or.
So my two are just. Yeah, I feel like, mind you, I was so bad at school. I told my mum, and do you know what she did?
What?
Laughed.
I was going to say, because on a scale, if you think about the fact that, if you think about the idea that every, generationally, we want to improve. To say, that's of worth. Like, I should improve, whatever that means, compared to my parents. Not in spite of them, but because of what they've done. They've created a foundation, and then we build on that foundation. So I guess in that sense, you're doing just that.
I'm trying to.
If we compare you as a teenager, and your boys, there's massive improvement.
Oh yeah, there's definitely.
So that's the positive. To look at it.
But my mum was like, "That's hilarious." She was like, "Do you remember all the times I had to go down? Me and your father had to go down to school because you'd done this or done that or pulled a stunt or done some crazy thing." And I was like, "No, I don't know what you're on about." She was like, "Yes, you do," and I was like, "Yeah, no." She goes, "Well, yeah, at least it's not some of the stuff that you did." And I thought, well, yeah, that is true.
It's that great. It's that, like you say, it's that going. Yeah, no, actually, the boys are doing good.
Yeah, they're doing all right. And then Kobe got in trouble for him and his mate William.
Oh yeah, you told me about it.
Oh my gosh, the pair of them, they're just proper trolls. And it was in art, and William got told off for something. And then Kobe turned to him and went, "William would you calm down?" And it sarcastically, and then he got sent out. So Kobe's getting sent out, and he is like, and then he looks through the window and the door, and he's like, "Why?" He's mouthing, "Why did I get sent out?" What? Like, and William's laughing at him, and he's doing all these impressions of the teacher apparently. And anyway, she gave him a C2, which is and it's really, if you send a kid out, I think it's supposed to be a C3. But anyway, he got a C2. But then her write up is hilarious, and you can tell she was really annoyed because he just like and he was mouthing through the window.
He's a troll though, your boy.
He's a proper troll,
And he loves it.
and he does love it, and that's I could only say that is my fault because I encourage it.
Yeah,
I'm a troll,
and he doesn't struggle at school.
No, he's very, very clever.
So not only is he a troll, but he doesn't have to try hard.
No.
So he'll have, at this point, he'll have no understanding. He'll have no concept of people who have to work really hard to get where they are or get what they want. So it's like a perfect storm.
Yeah, and they're saying so I don't understand this with parents' evening now. You have the kids sat with you.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I don't really like
it.
it.
I don't like that.
But anyway, they said, "Oh, with this, with this, I think it was science or maths. I don't know. I think it was science." And they were like, "You're at the highest possible level that you can be. You cannot go any higher, and your grades are right at the top. So like, there's nothing more you can do, which is great going forwards because you're not going to struggle in 9 and 10. But it would really help if you did your homework." And then he looked at me with like a face of like, "Did you hear that? That doesn't make any sense." And then I said, "Oh, what? So he would do better if he did homework then?" "Well, no, he wouldn't get a higher grade, but it would be just good if he did his homework, and then we wouldn't give him detentions for not doing it." And then I said, "But if he's got the highest grades that he can possibly get, and he can do no more, what's the benefit?" "Well, we just want him to do his homework."
It's just,
and I was like,
it's a mad old world. This thing. We had homework, and if you didn't do it, you'd get told off.
Yeah.
But this drive in schools now, where students are actively punished if they don't do it, is very interesting. And I can only imagine it's because of that desperate need for a good Ofsted rating.
Oh yeah, it's 100%.
So there's more pressure on schools. It's not even the school's fault. There's just so much pressure on schools to be outstanding. Like at my boys' school, because my daughter goes to a different school. If you have 2 lates in a week, you get an official letter home.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Like official, and so another parent was raging about it, and I get it because I'm like, wow, this is patronising, and also it is just school. Like there's life, there's family, there's home, and I think these have far more value, long term. And but I was saying to them, yeah, but
it's the state. You must love the state and do everything
no,
the
but I was
state
like,
says.
But when you're looking for the good Ofsted, I think I could be wrong on this, and I still think the principle holds though. That as a school, you're looking for areas that are easy improvements.
Yeah, probably.
So, like punctuality, that's an easy improvement. Dealing with kids who are from really broken homes, how do we deal with that? But I can make sure everyone comes on time.
Yeah. So it's a quick win.
So then it's a quick win. That's a good win. We can get that done. And when you realise that, you go, oh, yeah, all right, fair dues.
Yeah.
They're not.
They don't really
fascists.
care about this. Yeah.
They're just like, look, this is a good win.
Yeah.
And statistically, it shows that children who are on time, like, there are good stats to lay beside it. Again, I guess it's the same thing with homework. Like, how many teachers?
My nose is whistling. Sorry, people.
As a teacher, conflict is an ever-present part of your job.
Yes.
So why would you want more conflict? So when you make teachers have to punish students for not doing homework, you're making them have to do more conflict. So like teachers don't care about they care about the student. They want the students to do well, but they're not sat there going, well, I am infuriated that nobody's done their homework. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's this kind of.
I know, yeah. I just think, I agree with you, and like, it's funny because we sat with another teacher, and he started going on about homework and this, that, and the other, and I just said to him, I was like, Yeah, I get it. I get it. You know, you have to do work at home and stuff like that. And I said, but you know, I said, you know what the dream is. We all want the dream, don't we? And he's like, what do you mean? And I said, well, it's the work-life balance, isn't it? You do your job, but you have a good home life. So I'm trying to instill that in my kids from the very get-go. That, you know, I worked very hard at one point and was doing loads of stuff at home and was completely disconnected from my family. And I don't want to live like that, but I don't want them to live like that. But I want them to succeed outside of school. I said, because school isn't really the beginning and end all.
No, it's
And I said to him, I said, I'll be honest, I've never used Pythagoras' rule. I couldn't even tell you what it is. And I said, and that's no offence to school, but I don't care. In the same way I don't care about, you know, what's he called? Uh, Not Beethoven. See, look, I can't even think of the guy, the theatre guy.
what Stanislavski,
No, well, not Stanislavski. What's the British one? Everybody goes mad about him.
the British theatre guy,
Oh, back in the day.
Laurence Olivier.
No,
Oh,
no.
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I thought
Oh man,
you
I
going
couldn't even
now.
think of it. That's how disconnected I am from it. But then you could argue, well, your kids will never amount to anything because I can see him going for this. And I said, he's like, I said, well, he's a silver medalist, British medalist in Taekwondo, Olympic level Taekwondo. So not the one where it's just touching. You actually have to kick the person. I said, he's also live stream. He's now got 33,000 followers on Twitch.
And he's doing well in his. He's doing well in
And he's
the
doing
subjects.
well in everything at school.
I think that the thing is like,
what more do you want?
yeah, like with our students, once you get to college, you can enforce very little.
Mm.
So you pick your battles. You go, what do I want to fight about? And then I know, but there are other things that is required. Like they have to do that thing. That's a pressure that's put on me. Right. Well, then how do I make sure it gets done? Because going to war with them about it isn't going to make sure
Oh,
it
no.
gets done. And I just think schools like, I mean, you could almost argue just get your detention, do your homework in your detention, and then you're keeping all your schoolwork at school.
Mm.
Like there you go, there's work. Like like that's
Well, that's what he does.
yeah, exactly. And then so why stop him getting the detention? And why would he want the detention to stop? Because it's perfect. He finishes school,
Yeah.
and then he has half an hour or 45 minutes where he sits, he does his homework, and then he can just
Chill.
go home.
Yeah, that's what he does.
And I think schools should just do that. Like they go, the day finishes at whatever time, 3 o'clock, and then everybody goes to their form room, and then with the help of their form teacher or whatever, they have 45 minutes where they do their homework, they do independent study, and then you're not fighting them, you're not falling out with parents,
Yeah.
you're not having to put anybody in detention, you're minimizing that constant conflict.
Do you think?
Boom. Fix
I'm
the
throwing
system.
this out there. Do you think the whole homework thing is just because if he can succeed at a higher the highest level and get no higher, there's zero in my mind doing the homework other than revision.
Well, it's work ethic, I could argue.
Yeah, but so why is the work ethic? The work ethic is then saying, right, when you're at work, you get paid to do your work all day, and then take your work home and do it at home.
No, so you're right. It's not the right stimulus. Is that the right word? Maybe not the right word. It's not the right procedure, not the right idea, but the concept could be valid. Teaching your kids work ethic. But you can do that for a variety of things. Taekwondo teaching work ethic, getting the kids to learn a musical instrument,
Yeah.
Putting things in their life like not jobs for pocket money, but going, no, we're a family, we're a community. So these jobs are your responsibility.
That's right.
Because you're helping. So if parents, this is the thing in it. So many. The argument is that so many parents aren't parenting anymore, and schools are having to do parents' job.
Yeah.
Whereas in the past, maybe I don't know. The ideal is that the school is just doing the job of a school, and the parents are doing the job of parents.
I think that is only in a small fraction. I think that they use that as a vehicle to bring in more.
Yeah, but I don't even mean it like I'm having a go at parents, because I get it. More and more people are having to work 2 jobs.
Yeah.
More and more people are tired and stressed. More and more we're completely and utterly overwhelmed with screens and easy entertainment. So yeah, I don't mean it as an attack on parents because
No,
I
no.
worry about this as well, and a lot of the reasons can be legitimate.
But
But
I don't think that is the case. I just think that is a line that was spun through the news and allowed the schools to be like, well, we overreach basically into other elements.
yeah, well, it's certainly the whole nanny state and
Yeah, they love
run
it.
stuff, isn't it?
They love it. They love it. Like if we
Was there
can,
ever a homework that you did? Was there ever a subject that you would have done homework?
I did do homework. I did do homework, but how I did it was different. So because I was all right
Braille.
at school, yeah.
Did it in Braille?
No, I did
Just draw
surf.
pictures.
Yeah, I do. Well, I wasn't very artistic, so drawing pictures was not my forte. But what I would do is I'd look at what was written and I go, right, what's the basic thing I need to do?
That's a
Like,
gift.
yeah,
Like I've had to learn that to be able to go. If I need to understand this, I need to take it down to its foundational point.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Like that's
take the fluff out of it,
yeah.
and
What
what
is
they
it?
were, all the things that they would like you to do. What will just get me a pass?
But also that. But like I say, forget the pass. That's a phenomenal skill. You know, and like you say, as you move into owning your own businesses or trying to be successful, that becomes a skill that people are desperate to learn. How do I get everything down to what is the foundational principle or concept or aim or objective, and then make that the focus and then build up from that? Like
Yeah, well, and the way I
I
see
couldn't
it,
have done that at flipping 15.
oh man, I was really good at it. So, and I'm still to this day. Uh, I had somebody working for me, and I wanted some design work done. And I mean, they're a fantastic designer, but every time they'd want to produce this is the analogy that I came to, is every time they wanted to produce a Bentley quality bit of art or design, everything had to be a Bentley. But sometimes I just want a VW Golf because that's a perfectly good car.
Yeah. I've seen a video of this. I don't know if you've seen it, where the guy's explaining to a writer using Johnny Walker alcohols
Oh
as
no,
an
no, I'm not saying
example.
that. No, no.
So I think it's Johnny Walker. I don't know, it's an American, I'm sure Bourbon brand. And they've got different labels, haven't they? Red label, blue
Yeah, Black
label.
Label,
And he
whatever.
was saying to him, look, this is one company and they produce all these. And this is cheap.
And
And
this is,
it's for masses. And this is
mm,
top end. And he's saying, as a writer, you produce top end. But not many people buy top end.
exactly.
So, but as a writer, you could produce all of these. He's like, I don't want you to stop producing top end, but I also want you to start producing stuff that the masses are going to want to read.
Yeah,
So I get that.
but
Yeah, it's a good
that's a creative person's
drive. Yeah, to everything to be beautiful.
yeah, and it can also be your biggest flaw.
Yep.
I mean, there's nothing quite like watching somebody that is a master at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
That is fabulous, and I genuinely appreciate that. So I would never say to a creative, don't follow your dreams.
Do the posh stuff. Do the beautiful.
Yeah, I just want a VW Golf sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah, it's like if you're gonna write,
I take a Polo to be totally honest. You know, like
I've got an Igo. I take an Igo. I love my little Igo.
Yeah, that's it. And everything has its place. So I would look at my homework and I go, right, you're getting an Igo. So I would do bang, 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 bare minimum. They go, oh, John, I love the homework. You did your homework, but you could have done this. And I go, yeah, I could have done. But I wanted to go out. I said, and then so I was heavily into motorsport. And I remember one
strong hobby in your life, didn't you?
Yeah, I remember my media studies teacher getting mad with me. She's like, John, you're so good at media studies. You totally understand how it works. And your homework is dreadful. And I said, Miss, you don't understand. We're in the midst of the season. I have seized my engine up and I am rebuilding my engine by hand after school. Me and my dad in the garage, we're fixing stuff. I said, and I've got a race in like a week's time. I do not have the time nor the interest to do this homework. If you want me to do it, give me the work in school. Well, yeah. And I said, you know that bit when you talk for 25 minutes? I said, I could be doing something there and then and still listen to you. Well, you wouldn't be concentrating. I was like, so what do we do when we're at home and we're listening to music whilst doing stuff? well, that's different. I said, it's not. It's got words in it. She's like, you're being pedantic now. And I was like, no, but I said, I don't need to do this homework. It doesn't go towards my grade. And even if it does, if you're happy with it and it's a C, great. Because I don't care if I get a D or an A or a what. I'm just not driven by this.
No, and you're doing, so yeah, that's that. Yeah, because the teacher cares and they see going, I want more from you because you can give me more. But you're going, hey,
I don't want to give you
I'll
any
give
more.
you. I had this when I did my PGCE because it's genuinely a brutal flipping course. Like, well, it's more brutal when you've never taught before and you arguably don't really know your own subject. So you're desperately,
Oh, wow.
so you're desperately trying to, because that's why I went into teaching, because
Yeah.
I wanted to learn more about my subject, because I realized I knew so little
Yeah,
about
yeah.
this craft that I was in no way crafting, that I was blagging.
Yeah. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Baby.
So I did the teaching to do that, but you're doing this course where you are in colleges teaching, but back then, I don't know, probably won't be like this now. Colleges are like, sweet, free labor. Let's give them the worst group that no one else wants.
Oh, no.
So you'd be given like a really tough group. You don't know your subject that well. You've never really taught before. So you're going through all that.
Wow.
But then the PGC requires that every lesson you teach has a full lesson plan connected to theory and a scheme of work that sits over the top of it. And they're asking you to produce 5,000 word assignments on professionalism or 3,000 word assignment on curriculum. So we'd hand the assignments, but the good thing with the PGC is it's just pass or fail.
Yeah.
So if you get a third, you get 40%, you've passed. If you get a 90%,
you've passed.
You've passed. And the focus, the whole point is you want to be good teacher. So you'd hand these hand these assignments in. And my tutor was a wonderful woman. I almost quit 3 times. Like, she was a wonderful woman. She kept me going.
Bless her.
She'd be like, Alistair,
what's
it
this?
could be so much more. Like this and this. I was like, did it pass? She was like, well, yes, it passed. I was like, we're all good then. Because I don't care. Because I can't care about a 5,000 word random assignment on professionalism when I'm grinding the enamel off my teeth with this group because I'm so stressed and I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know my own subject. Like,
it's true.
You make those calls, don't you?
Yeah, it's true. And it's funny. I still to this day, there's one thing that really griped me at school. So I was the only child in. Hang on.
Oh, he's moved away from his mic.
I was the only child in my year. In fact, I think I was the only one in the school at the time that professionally competed in a sport outside of school.
Yeah, which when I was growing up that's really rare.
Yeah.
I get the impression it's maybe not as rare now as it once was.
It's not as rare, but there was absolutely no care given. They couldn't give a monkey's about anything that I did, anything that I was involved in. And I got write-ups in the local rag and all that kind of stuff for stuff I'd done. And they just didn't care. They weren't interested in the slightest. And then I had DT, right? And everybody else was doing like flipping, sticking 2 bits of wood together and making a crocodile that their mouth could open.
I remember doing something like that.
It was just tat. Anyway, I came in, I welded a full frame and made a stand for my go-kart. I did the whole design process. I built the thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I welded it all up myself. I did all the brought a welder in, showed the teacher how to MIG weld.
That's awesome.
Yeah. What did I get? A C. I was the only kid in the school to actually create something from steel, do it properly, and it be working and useful.
It's got to be better now. Is it better now? Because I remember Cobes gets time off, or did get time off because of his sport.
But they never really did much with him. It was all very much just to make the school look good.
Yeah.
But then, they did stuff. Oh, will you bring the cart in and put it on display for us with the trolley and blah blah blah. I did all of that. We went to great lengths to get a flipping C. And I just thought, what is the actual point in that? The only thing that I actually did well in is I wasn't particularly sporty as a kid. I mean, I didn't mind having a kick about. I liked a bit of rugby. Played rugby at primary school for the school. Did long jump. I was very good at long jump.
There you go.
Broke my kneecap doing long jump.
Oh my word.
And yeah, I broke my collarbone playing football. It's all in primary school. But when I started doing motorsport, so I ended up, I did a lot of stuff in the gym. So I was training most of the time. And then I did a lot of swimming because you don't want to be heavy, really muscly and heavy. You've got to be like core strength and cardio's got to be good and all that kind of, loads of cycling. And I remember my teacher, so our school was attached to a leisure centre. I would try and miss PE because the way I saw it, a lot of people were idiots. So they would do stupid stuff like tackle you hard or, like you'd fall over and hurt your back or, just dumb stuff that kids do.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, if you do that to me, I could miss this weekend's racing. And then me and my dad that have spent like the last 50 hours putting that thing back together from the last race, and all the money that's involved and the booking of the race meeting and everything else, we lose it all. So I would just check out and then I'd go next door swimming. So I'd take my school uniform off, put a hoodie in, whatever. I had my little pass and then I'd go swimming. And I'd just stay out of the way. And then, because they were a bit slack in the 90s with various things.
Well, registers were paper.
Yeah.
You only did them in your form room.
Yeah.
Sometimes you wouldn't have registers in classes, especially not PE.
This blooming teacher, this kid grassed me up. To my head teacher, Mr. Argyle, not head teacher, head of PE. And he says, he comes into the swimming pool and he's like, Mr. Slumbers. And I was like, oh no. And I'm going up and down. Get out of the pool now. I was like, oh. So I get out the pool, frogs march me out, makes a right scene. I felt like a proper idiot. And he's like, get changed and get in my office now. I was like, oh. So anyway, I went in the office, and he's like, why are you going swimming when you should be doing this, this, and this? And then I told him what I do. And I said, I compete in professional motorsport. I cannot be hurt. I said that I will only come when I'm out of season, unless I'm racing in the winter season. And he says, oh, right. I didn't know anything about it. I was like, well, nobody ever asks anything anyway. He said, I'll tell you what, I want to speak to your parents. So he speaks to my dad. My dad's like, come and see him race. So anyway, he literally made a fair game to him. Where the track was like a 2.5 hour drive. He drove all the way to the circuit. He watched me race. He came up to me and my dad, and he turned to my dad. He's like, I do not know how you let your kid do something so dangerous. He's like, that is insane. And he's like, yeah, he's good, isn't he? He's like, yeah, he's really good. And he's like, wow. He's like, so he turned to me and I said, are we going to have trouble now? Like, do you understand? And he was like, oh, yeah, I totally understand. So then after that, he never pressured me to do something.
It's the power of a good teacher, and it's so easy to focus on. They're bad in quotation mark teachers. They're not bad. They're just overworked and exhausted.
Yeah,
and they've
yeah.
got hundreds of kids to deal with.
Yeah.
But every so often, you just get those amazing teachers, don't you? That have something
got
small
an
or
A.
something big.
I got an A in PE. The least good at sport. I enjoyed basketball. Didn't want to play it because I didn't want to break my fingers.
Yeah, your ankles.
All your ankles, yeah. Football, never competed. All the school stuff, running, all of it. I just barely did any of it. I stayed out the way, and yeah, I got an A. And everyone's like, "How the heck did he get an A?" And yeah, I remember in my report it said like the only professionally competes in motorsport, we cannot, give him a lower mark.
Nice.
So I was like, sick. But yeah, like everything else, yeah, pretty terrible at really. But now here I am. I think if you're listening, there's a handful of things that are important in life. If we're talking about education, the ability to learn and work something out for yourself is is one.
Yeah, flipping heck, yeah. Like the critical thinking,
Yeah.
like the ability to, worry at a problem, to know how to research and how to increase your own knowledge. But then, schools. I mean, they say we're getting worse at that. I don't know, but schools were never intended to teach you that.
No, they weren't.
They were
should.
they were
but
intended to make factories run better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we had this conversation
like, that's what
outside
they're
of
for,
the
innit?
podcast. Well, what about? I'll give you an example. I was saying that if you changed up drama, the title drama for, I don't know,
Flashdance.
influencer training or something.
Influencer training.
Like something that's, or media training or something like that. I think more people would be interested.
Oh yeah, you can't. You're right. I mean, the course that I'm teaching on now is sold as acting for digital media.
Oh, is that what it's sold as?
Yeah.
Ah, see, that's clever.
It's clever.
That's what it should
And the
be.
guy that teaches the second year, who's been in charge of kind of the course, really,
Yeah.
owns his own filming company. He's phenomenal.
Wow, that's amazing.
So in the second year, yeah, they produce
really good stuff.
do, like short films. They get their headshots. They produce all kinds of stuff.
Man, that's cool.
Yeah.
So I think that's the way forward, and then stuff like, like I was saying about how to open a bank account and how to deal with tax and how and none of that is ever spoken to really in any.
But then my feeling is that that's our job.
Well, yeah, but I think
I don't like to leave anything to schools.
I would
other than the basics, like if the kids can read and write and like they can do that stuff, because there's also socializing. Nobody ever talks about that. Like in our early parents' evenings, they were like, "So he's doing really good in maths." That's great, but how is he doing socially?
Yeah. He's doing great, but he keeps getting his bum out.
Yeah, he isn't there yet. That's what I'm worried about. The youngest.
Yeah. It's like,
but like the others are like,
mooned at the
the others
teacher.
are like, yeah, they get on great. They can problem solve in conflicts with other students. They're caring. They get on well with students. They got lots of friends. I'm like, this is junior school. This is infant school.
Yeah.
That's all that's what I predominantly care about. It's great that they're learning to read and write and add and subtract, and like all that stuff's great.
Awesome.
But at that age, like, can you function socially? It's that I've heard it said before. Life, if you think about life as a game, and to be successful at life, you need to be invited to play. So teaching your kids how to socialize well,
yes,
means that other kids invite them to play. And then that starts a foundation, not to become people pleasers, and I don't mean that, but it starts a foundation. Other adults like them.
Yeah, and you
Like,
get
powers them.
opportunities.
You get more opportunity.
Yeah,
The more the better you are at socializing and understanding social situations, the more chance you have in society. So I'm like, that was always our focus with them when they were.
Yeah, that's really good. I think there's both of those points, and then I think work ethic.
Yeah,
so actually working hard, finishing a job, not doing a half-hearted.
Yeah. And that took me until I was in my 20s before I learned that.
But me and Copes, like, honestly, that boy, he's getting it. And Mikey, bless him, for the first time in ever, he showed some interest and wanted to help me do the garden.
Awesome, that's great.
And I trained him how to use the petrol lawnmower. He was dying to have a go of it.
Yeah, I bet.
And I thought, well, if he's actually interested, I'm not going to stop him from having a go and learning, because that's what it's all about. And he mowed all the front lawn, did it really well, did exactly what I asked him to do. I'm like, so you can do this. And then we sorted out the back bit out here and trimmed everything and got it all sorted. But work ethic is really, really important, and I think that stands out. You'll get a massive head start in work if you have good work ethic.
Yeah.
There'll be night and day, because there's so many people that have terrible work ethic.
Yeah,
says me that started the podcast on, I just want to do the bare minimum.
Yeah, but it's true that you can work hard, you can learn, and you understand the mechanisms of acquiring knowledge.
Yeah,
and you can interact well with people.
Yeah,
like that's a good foundation to have.
Yeah, and the next one, relationship with Jesus.
Oh, that's the top one, isn't it?
Yeah. ultimately, if you don't have that relationship with God, and you'll just do all of it on your own, and it seems like a slog.
To take it, to nicely bookend the podcast,
Yeah.
to frame it nicely, learning to surrender to God is the most empowering thing you can do, because it's like having, to put it into natural terms, it's like having a dad who just will look after you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
He's gonna guide your decisions. He knows the end from the beginning. He's got a plan for you.
Yeah, and you're there going, I want this, and he's like, you know what?
If you get that, that's really bad for you.
Yeah.
Or if you have that now, it'll never be what it could be. Or that thing you want is meaningless. Give me a bit more time, and you're gonna realize how meaningless it is. And yeah, it's true. It's not easy.
I've been praying for that Dodge Challenger for ages.
It's like, it's not flipping easy, is
I
it?
want this Porsche on here. That's my lower expectation.
Yeah, that
car.
surprised me about the Porsche. I mean, I know you've had a lot of Porsches.
I've had a few.
I'm a bit lost with cars, but
they're all a nightmare.
Yeah,
I hate them.
They're all much of a muchness, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all junk. But I just
like, there's cars that I would quite like, but they won't fit a family of 5.
I want that Delica.
Yes, that would. We went to look at Honda Odysseys. You know, we went.
Oh, you went up there.
Georgina and I went to the import centre.
Yeah.
And had a look, and we really liked them. Like 2013, 2014, nice. But then I found out they do like 20 miles to the gallon.
Oh, they're horrendous.
Yeah, and I was like, well, we can't afford that. Can't afford to have a 2. And also, how much will the insurance go up if it's 2.4? Like,
well, and
like,
the fact that it's import, and then if you need like a bit of this or parts.
So I was like, okay, we'll leave it. We'll continue chugging on with the jogger.
See, I looked at the Delica idea, and then I like, but am I gonna enjoy it enough? So this is my thinking, right? I'm going to throw this out there. This is the end of the podcast, but I'm still going to say it anyway. So if I was to buy one of those, I'd need to get in debt to buy it. And would I like it enough that I'd be happy to pay the payments on it? Yeah. And the answer is not really.
No, it's true, isn't it? That's the thing you get to, and it can be a bit sad because when you're younger, you buy things because you like them and you regret it. But you're right, you get to that point. Like, I would love a Honda Fireblade, an original, like 92.
Yeah, the first one.
With the 2 circular headlights, like a beautiful thing. And I'm like, but would I ride it? Probably not that much. Okay, well, do I have a setup where I could just visually enjoy it? No, not really. Then you're like, I just need to stop thinking about it because there's just no point to having
it. The 911 I could use. It's not ridiculous. They're cheap to insure. They don't depreciate.
Can you get the kids in the back?
You can get 2 small dwarfs in the back.
Because that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, but I don't care. I'm like...
No, but
I said this to Lids. I'm like, I have a small window now of having a nice car and not looking like a massively old fart in it.
Yeah, but I think you can be older and look very nice in a Porsche, like a Jag, like... A lot of those cars, they've got a...
Yeah, I don't want to... That's not the look I'm going for. I want to still, like, look relatively young. I'm kidding myself here, aren't I? But, yeah, I fancy one, and that's not a new one. That's an old one.
You know what? They're nice looking.
So late,
I just can't do it because we need 2 cars,
2000.
and both cars need to be able to fit the kids in.
This would be a third car.
Oh, you're talking third car.
Yeah,
right.
So I would get rid of the Mercedes and buy myself a little Focus, and then I'd have the Porsche. And then if I went to a meeting, like a business meeting, I'd have to gauge who the people are. I'd decide whether I'd take the Porsche or the Focus.
Yeah, well, if we were going to get a third car, it'd have to be for Georgina, because I've got motorbikes. I can't legitimately also have the car, and the kind of cars she likes, we would never buy. So it'd be like, yeah, if we're going to have a third car, it'd have to be hers.
I mean, I could go and buy a Boxster, but I don't want a Boxster. I want a 911.
Fair dues. Well, on that bombshell.
Yeah, everybody pray that I get a 911? I once prayed to get a Porsche, I wasn't very specific and ended up with a 944.
Nice cars. I like the 944s.
Yeah. Do you remember my 944?
Yeah.
And then that's actually the car that I went on a first date with Lids with.
Right, you should have kept it.
I did a beer call first date. She revved it so hard she blew the radiator hose off it.
Nice.
Overheated it.
Promising.
Mm.
Yeah, we pray for that. Pray that for some reason I can have a Honda Fireblade given to me because I ain't going to buy one.
Yeah.
And Georgina can have an electric piano. Just going to put that out there for praying.
Electric piano?
Yeah, she wants a piano. She wants to learn to play piano.
Oh, right. Okay.
But there's no point getting an upright one because you have to tune them. They're big, they're heavy. But you can get fully digital pianos that are still 88 keys, still have the foot pedals. Like they're a piano, but they're digital.
You could just buy a keyboard, a little Casio, I'm sure. I'll go sell them.
It has to be legit. But I'm just thinking we're putting things out there.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Material things that we won't be able to pray for.
Yeah.
I pray for that.
Right, okay. All right, well, thank you, everybody, for listening. I will sing the outro. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Oh, you've been listening to us singing and talking a lot.
At the Open Invite podcast, where
we never talk about drugs like pot.
There you go. Au revoir, mon petit lapins.
Bye-bye.